morning, everyone. Welcome to Get Active, Rise and Shine. Thank you for tuning in to Yoga Cardio Session. My name is Samuel Lim, aka that Uncle Sam. I will be leading you through today's Yoga Cardio Session together with Sim as well as Cheryl Loh. The thing that we're going to be doing today is to focus on our lower back. If you have lower back issues, strains, pain, and you need a little bit of a stretch, you need a little bit of workout, stay tuned with us, and we'll be guiding you through how to relieve this pain and the issues that you might be having. Now, even if you don't have any challenge with your back, it's still a very good workout that you can go through. The stretches is going to help you throughout the day as well. Now, the thing that you would need today as an equipment to start off with would be the chair. Okay, so I'll be guiding you through some core work, back activation movements, and then Cheryl will be going through with you some strengthening and conditioning work, and we'll finish off with Dawn covering the conditioning and the stretch work. Alright, so if you're ready, get hold of a chair, stay as close to it as possible. You might need it, maybe if you don't, it is fine. The first movement we're going to work on is a forward bending practice. So use your breathing as much as you can. Take a deep breath in. As you inhale and exhale, tuck your chin in, bring your neck down, round your shoulder blades, round your spine, and start to reach down towards the ground. Inhale, coming back up. We have 10 reps to go, and remember, this is an activation drill. Breathing, coming back up. If you find that it's relatively easy, what I'd like you to do is you can actually start grabbing some resistance bands that you might have, or dumbbells that you could have, and use that as a weight resistance or a bearing to continue with the movements. As you proceed, get your breathing down deeper, stretch forward as far low as you can. Scaling option, if you do have spinal issues or back problem, pull the chair in closer to you, take a sit, and then from here, practice the same movement. Chin in, round your neck, round your shoulders, and start to reach down towards the ground. We want to activate the spine columns by columns. Alright, so once you finish off 10 reps, the next thing that we'd like to do is a pelvic tilt. So come back to a standing position, push your hip to the side as far as you can, lean your body weight to one side, and then lean your body over to the other side. Get a good stretch. And then come back to a stand. At any point in time, if you find that you have aches, pain, difficulties or challenges with the movement, just stop where you are and then come back. Now, for those who can, what I'd like you to do is challenge yourself, extend your arms up, squeeze your elbows to your ears, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, push your hips to the side again, reach forward to the other side as far as you can. The movement over here is to activate the hips or the pelvic first, and then the spine, and then reverse the hip position, and then reverse the spine. So push your hip to the side, feel the weight across, stretch, feel the stretch across your lats, your underarm, your triceps, and then return the movement. Again, the same thing, you could actually also be practicing the same movement while you're seated down. Now, you may not be able to tilt your hip to the side, but same thing, extend your arm up, reach for the side, go as far as you can, and then come back to a stand. What we want to do is to be able to find potential challenges or difficulties. Think about it, if you would feel any restrictions during warm-up, that's a cue for you to be very mindful when you're performing the workout. Alright. So once you're done 10 on each side, once you're done 10 on each side, make sure you continue to stretch and take a sip of water as well. Okay? Now, what's the next cue? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, now get back to your chair. Same thing is gonna happen. Pull your knees in a little bit. Now this one is interesting because a lot of time we have difficulties trying to going down into the squat or coming back up to the stand. So what we want to do is we're gonna start off movement from the squat, from the chair first. My challenge to you is without leaning forward or too far back, get yourself into a nice stable position without hinging forward. Bring yourself to be back up to a stand. Going down to a sit nice and slow, and then coming back up to a stand. Now you want to feel the weight bearing on your buttocks and your hamstrings as well as your quads, keeping your chest up as high as you can, going down to a squat, and then coming up to a stand. If you're feeling nice and easy, nice and comfortable, go down to a squat as deep as you can without the chair, and then come back up to a stand. Again, we want to perform 10 repetitions of this. Breathe in as you're going down, exhale as you're coming up. All right, one round done. So I'm going to challenge you to perform a slightly more challenging routine. So this time around, again, the same thing. We're going to go into a forward roll. Use your chair as a guidance as much as you can. Take a deep breath in. As you're exhaling, chin down, reach forward, folding the chair, going down as far as you can. And then coming back up to a stand. The whole idea is that you can actually feel that you're moving vertically in line with gravity and putting some more strain or more pressure and more feedback receiving from your spine. Once you're comfortable with that, as you're comfortable with the movement, grab hold of the chair and then lift it back up. Now, depending on the chair or the tools that you could have, you want to be able to grab hold of the weight nice and comfortably. Okay? Breathing down, breathing in as you're going down, breathing out as you're coming up. So breathing, going down, exhale, coming back up. Perform all 10 reps, nice and slow and easy. Okay? Now, next movement that we're going to do is the side tilt. A little bit more challenging movement over here will be to go into a lunging position. Now from here, extend your hip up, extend your body up, your arms up, push your hip to the side, reach out as far as you can. Now, because of the stance that you're in, chances are you'll start to lose or challenge your balance a little bit more, and then push your body back up into position. Hips to the side, extend, stretch, breathe in, exhale, coming up. Extend, reach to the side, exhale, coming back up. And then switch on to the other side. Arms up, variation, you can put your hands on by the back of the head as well. Push your hip to the side, stretch, and then coming back up. We have 3 more to go. Hips to the side, body to the side, and then coming back up. Okay. Now, going back down to the squat, remember all the things that I'm following with you or going through with you, it's all about engagement and activation. So it doesn't have to be very difficult, but just be mindful of the movement such that you understand that if your spine has control or restriction. So going back into the chair squats again, make sure you pull your knees or your feet in close enough such that you can feel the balance or the pressure under your feet. And then from there, keeping your body as upright as you can, slight leaning forward that allows you to push yourself back up into a standing position. Going down to a squat, nice and slow. Touch in contact, do not rest on the chair. Push yourself back up to a stand. Okay. If you're finding it easy, again, push the chair away from you. I'm going to go through another 2 more repetitions of this. And then what I'd like you to do, potentially, is to pick up a weight or even using the chair to practice your balancing. Breathe in on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Okay, I'm breaking a sweat. I'm not too sure about you, but make sure you have a towel with you. Make sure you drink some water along the way. Get ready for Cheryl's strength and conditioning portion for today's segment. And then get a yoga mat ready for Dawn's conditioning and mobility practice.
Welcome back to Get Active, Rise and Shine. And in today's episode, our focus is to work on the core muscles, basically the front part, especially for this second part of the segment. We'll be working on strengthening and conditioning the abdominals, the obliques, to alleviate the back stiffness, back tightness issues. And the first part, Sam has guided us through some core activation exercises. Now we're going to be moving towards more dynamic core exercises. That means involving the whole body movement and definitely getting you a sweat on, and make sure you have your water bottle by your side. And for today's segment, this second part of the segment, we'll be needing actually anything, water bottle, any small item that you can use, because one of the exercises will be Russian twist. So this part will be working on 3 different exercises going for 3 rounds. And this part will be working on time-based interval training. So later on there'll be a time on the screen and I'll be doing the exercises alongside with you. All you have to do is just follow the exercises as I go along. Okay, so for the items needed, just one thing you need for today, for this part, it's gonna be either a water bottle, the heavier the better. So if you have a 1.5 liters, 2 liters kind of water bottle, even better. Fill it up, make a little bit of weight. If you have a dumbbell at home, if you have a medicine ball at home, you can use that for the exercise as well. And if let's say you don't have anything, just grab anything. I'm gonna be using my backpack over here that I brought here today. So anything will do. Later on, as I run through the exercises, you'll understand what we're trying to do over here. So 3 different exercises. First one for today, I'll just run through what we are working on. First exercise is gonna be spider stretch with rotation. Second exercise for today, for this part, is gonna be Russian twist, which we will be using the water bottle or the backpack. And the third exercise will be inchworm. And all of these, we are going by 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds to rest in between, and we'll be going 3 rounds, okay? Before we begin the whole workout set, let's run through, or you can try to go along with me with the exercises, just to make sure you get to know all of the things you have to do and use the right muscles. The main thing, the key word here is activate the right muscles, not just moving for the sake of moving. So you want to use the right muscles, work the right muscles for these 3 rounds. It's a very short circuit of 9 minutes only. So 3 rounds, 9 minutes. So the first exercise for this part, you can just watch or follow through. We're not starting the timer yet, just going through the 3 different exercises to make sure what you have to do. So the first one will be plank position, spider stretch with plank rotation. So from here, you start in the plank position, shoulders directly above your hands, and make sure there's no sagging butts. Nobody wants a sagging butt. So you want to keep your plank position nice and tight, shoulders above your hands, and stay in this position first. Once you get stable in this, first step you want to do is to take a big step outside your hand. So outside the hand. Initially, if let's say your hips are tight, you're going to start off, especially in the morning, you're going to start off this way, that's fine. It doesn't have to be such a big step. For those who can, good for you. Okay, so back to this again, plank position, big step. Try your best to have the whole foot planted on the ground. So not on your toes this way, but stays where it is, foot planted on the ground, okay? For those who can, outside your hand. So if you can, ideally, foot in line with your hands over here, okay? So that is the spider stretch we're doing. For those who are doing this for the first time, later on when we start the workout, you can go for spider stretch only for 40 seconds, just alternating sides. And those who have done this before, you want to take this up to another level, go for spider stretch with the rotation. Same leg, same hand. Open up, look to the ceiling, come back down. And then you're going to switch sides, right leg, right hand up, twist, rotate, come back down. And you're just going to be switching sides 40 seconds later on. So now we're just running through the exercises first. That will be the first exercise. Second exercise, Russian twist. Using a bag or a water bottle seated on the ground. Anything, you can, if you want to hold your frying pan, a pot, anything that has a little bit of weight on it. So as long as you have an item in your hands, keep it close to your chest, elbows in. For Russian twist, 2 versions. If you are doing this for the first time, heels on the ground. And as long as you lie back a little bit, you will start to feel it in the abs. So from here, heels on the ground, lean back. You should feel like you're falling backwards. All you have to do is twist the upper body. Tap the item on the ground, twist over again, tap, and just keep going for 40 seconds this way. Okay, if you want to make it harder, feet off the ground, heels off the ground, balance on your butt, twist, twist. Okay, the common mistake for this one, I'm gonna see a lot of people doing this, just moving the arms. This is not twisting. This is just moving your arms, working on the biceps, working on the shoulders. So we don't want to do that. So from here, lean back, twist the upper body, turn the whole chest, turn the shoulders, face one side, face the other side, 40 seconds. Okay, that will be going straight on 40 seconds, and then later on, third exercise. Third exercise, starting from standing position. All we have to do, walk out to your hands, into your plank position, and then bring your feet in all the way to your hands, as close as possible. Try to keep your butt up, so no squatting. Butt stays up, walk out, backwards, plank, walk your hands all the way in towards your feet. Stay down and go again. So this will be the inchworm, the third exercise. Okay, if you want to make this harder, all you have to do is to extend your plank out as far as you can. The lower to the ground, the better. As far as you can, without face planting. And bring your feet in. All the way in and repeat other side. As far out as you can. And hands in. Okay, that will be the harder version. So it's up to you. We'll be going for 3 rounds. So first round, you can go for the simpler version, warm up. And then as you go along, get used to the exercises, you can move on to the harder version. Okay, so now, starting with the first one, plank rotation, spider stretch with plank rotation. So the first one, we'll be starting timing. All you have to do is follow what I'm doing. I'll be doing it 40 seconds with you. Okay. We're going to start a timer in 5 seconds. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Spider stretch, rotate, and return. Okay, make sure you try to get a big step forward each time. Remember, for those who want to just do the spider stretch this way, that's fine as well. Big step, feel the stretch, come back. Always reset, return to plank position. If you want to make it harder, go for the twisting. Go for the rotation. Spider stretch, rotation. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 20 seconds, relax, breathe. You have 20 seconds here, get ready for your Russian twist. So with the water bottle, with the bag, anything, seat it down. Okay, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and lean back. Go ahead, twist the upper body. Heels on the ground if you're starting out. If you want to make it harder, feet off the ground. The more you lie back, the more you activate the core muscles. Breathe regularly. Try to breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. We got another 10 more seconds. Twist the upper body. By now you should feel the abs burning. 5 seconds. Remember, it's the twisting of the upper body. And time. Okay. Rest for 20 seconds. Next one, inchworm. We're going to go for starting position first. So 2 different options. Go into a plank or extended plank. Up to you. Okay, 5 seconds. Yeah, ready? 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Start from standing, walk out to plank, and inch your feet in. As close to your hands as possible. And now you reverse the whole thing. Back to plank, walk your hands in. And just keep going this way for 40 seconds. Inch your feet in, as close to your hands as possible, and inch your feet out. If you want to make it harder, go a little bit further. Hands out a little bit further, inch your feet in. And time. Okay, rest for 20 seconds. That's the first round done. I always call that an orientation round. So now you are used to the exercises, you can go for the advanced version if you want. Starting in another 5 seconds. Back to the top. Plank position. 3, 2, 1, and go. Spider stretch, rotation. Big step forward, twist. Look at the ceiling. Nice. For those who can, try to keep your back leg as straight as possible when you take a big step forward. So at the same time, you stretch your hip flexors. Open up those hips. Last one. And time. Okay, rest for 20. Back to Russian twist again. Seat it down. Okay, by now your body should be warmed up. For those who haven't tried this, try the feet off the ground one, okay? In 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and feet off the ground. Lean back, twist the upper body. Remember, it's the twisting of the upper body. I cannot emphasize this enough. Not the arm movement. You want to turn the whole upper body. If you're trying the feet off the ground and you really cannot hold any longer, place your feet on the ground, but keep lying backwards. You should feel like you're falling back. That's the correct one. A few more repetitions. 5 seconds. Last 2. Last 1. And time. 20 seconds rest. Okay, not easy for me to do a long 40 seconds with you, huh? So you try to keep up with me as well. 10 seconds to breathe. Third exercise, inchworm. Okay. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Walk out to plank. Nice and tight abs. Walk your feet in. As close to your hands as possible. Feet out again. And inch your hands back in. Okay, your legs doesn't have to be straight, especially for those with tight hamstrings. It doesn't have to be straight as long as you try your best to keep your butt up. Reverse the whole thing. Those who are more flexible, keep your legs straight this way. And then go again. Right now you should be feeling it in your abs. And time. Well done. Now it's 2 rounds. We got 1 more round to go. Just 1 more round. 3 different exercises. This is a very short circuit, but you can feel your heart rate up. You can feel the abs burning. Everything tightening up. You're going to start from the top. Last round. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Spider stretch. Rotate. Return. As you go along the rounds of the exercises, your body get used to the whole movement. Try to do it a little bit better than the last round. Feel the whole movement. Go back to plank, no sagging butt. Rotate, reach up, come back. Big step. Almost there. Hold that plank. And time. 20 seconds. Rest. Rest for a bit. 20 seconds. Get your water bottle. Get your bag. Russian twist. If you're using pots and pans, even better. Improvise. Okay. 5 seconds. Get ready. Russian twist in 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Turn the upper body. Twist. Remember to breathe normally. I can already feel my abs, obliques shaking. If you're doing it right, you activate the right muscles, you don't have to do a lot. And it's not about going for speed for this part, but using the right muscles. Almost there. 10 more seconds. Turn the upper body. Feel it tightening up. That's 1. 3 seconds. 2, 1, and time. Right. Last exercise, last round. Inchworm. Starting on your feet. 10 seconds. Okay, deep breath. Got 1 more exercise before you take a short break. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. If you want to go for the extended version, the harder version, extended plank, go for it. The closer you are to the ground, the harder it is. Okay. Same thing, walking back with your feet. As long as you're not pulling your butt down. So keep your butt up and push your way back in. As far as you can for this one. Without face planting. Walk your feet in and go again. And rest. Well done. You just did 3 rounds of these 3 different exercises. You should be sweating a little bit by now. If you're not, that means you're going to go a little bit heavier or do this for a longer duration the next time around. So all these exercises, you can actually save it. You can always come back to the same video again and try to follow through. Okay? So later on, we're going to go for a short break right now. When we come back, Dawn will be leading you through some mobility exercises stretches to help you relax the tight muscles right now. Okay.
Step right up, draw the next cut. You water the pipe, we're animals, so get along with everybody else. Is the ship sinking? I've been thinking. Always sinking. I've been thinking. Been a little time to get along. A wake-up call, throw the next up. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Rise and Shine with Get Active TV. I'm Dawn, back here again after Monday, also known as That Mama 4. You can already learn a lot of things earlier on from what Samuel as well as Cheryl has shared with you. So back to what we were talking about earlier on today, back pain and exercise. They do go hand in hand. Just because you have back pain doesn't mean you have to avoid the exercises. In fact, it's even more important that you do the necessary exercises and stretches, which I'll be showing you as well, to help you manage this condition. Right? So back pain can occur anywhere along the spine, from your lower back to your upper back, but more often than not, it's going to be affecting the lower back. And in fact, for many of us right now, the lower back is an area where we suffer from a lot of pain and tightness, not because of too much exercise, it's actually too little of it, right? So very often it's also people who sit down for too long who suffer from back pain, right? So when you're folding at the hips for way too long, it actually affects a muscle that connects from your lower back to the top of your thigh. And you notice how this distance becomes very short at this point. So many of the movements that we do actually are going to help you to open up the front side of the hips, which also in turn does help you to improve circulation, right? So for those of you who do suffer from back pain, get your mats rolled out. If you don't have a mat, you can still join me. Have your big bath towel ready. In fact, I need two, right? Because at some point, I'm going to be using a bath towel rolled up this way to help support your low back in a stretch towards the later part of your practice today, right? So you don't need any socks, you don't need any shoes. Just make sure that you're dressed up, ready to stretch and to do some big dynamic movements with me. There will be options for those of you as well who do suffer from pains and aches elsewhere in your body. So option 1 is always going to be easier. Option 2 is always going to be harder, right? So if you have a background in exercise, you don't have any much issues to work with, then please work with option 2. First exercise we're going to work with is called a kneeling reach, right? So you have two options. You can rest on your forearms for those of you with wrist pain, and this is how it's going to look like. Elbows are shoulder width distance apart. Knees are hip width distance apart. So I'm going to have my opposite arm and leg extending up. In this case, I have my right hand and left leg reaching out in opposite directions. On the exhale, I'm going to lower it down lightly, right? And that's 1. We're going to be repeating the same exercise 12 times on one side before we switch it over to the other. Option 2, this is what you guys do. Spreading all 10 fingers, like you're trying to open up peanut butter jars outwards, You're gonna have your fingers open out wide, hip width distance apart with your knees as well. We're gonna extend opposite arm and leg. In this case, once more, right arm, left leg. So those of you on your forearms, please come along with us. We're gonna do 12 repetitions together. Inhaling, you extend, balancing a tray of tea on your back. As you exhale, lightly coming back to touch the ground. That's 1. Inhale to extend, and then exhale to lower down. You're gonna keep your inner weight training belts, your inner corsets on. Exhale throughout this whole exercise. So how do you do that? You just imagine somebody's gonna punch you in your stomach. Exhale, and you're getting ready for it. All right, inhale to open, and exhale to lower. So the key is not to hold your breath when you're doing the exercises here. And lower slow. Let's keep repeating. To extend in opposite directions with the arm and the leg. So it's not about just lifting up. You're gonna at the same time try to reach the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Right? Let's just do 2 more here. Right? Inhale to extend, and exhale to lower. 1 more time. Inhale to extend, and exhale to lower. Come take a seat on your heels, roll the shoulders for a little while, and you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. What this does is it strengthens the back, right? At the same time, you're gonna have to stabilize your shoulders, your upper body, when you're doing this movement, right? So watch my shoulders. I'm not gonna sag it down. I'm gonna push away from the floor really strongly, right? Let's do the same thing on the other side now. Spreading all 10 fingers. Knees are hip width distance apart. Left arm, right leg this time. Inhale to extend. Now try to avoid shrugging your shoulder on that lifted arm. Exhale, lower, lightly touching the ground. Let's do that again. Inhale, extend, and exhale, lower. Where your eyes look at, inhale is towards the ground and out. So show me the back of your neck here. Inhale to open, and exhale to lower. So again, trying to balance that tray of tea on your back. Nothing moves but that floating arm and leg, right? Keeping the belly wall firm. Exhale. So again, pretending that somebody's about to punch you in your stomach and you're getting ready for it. All right, let's do 5 more here. And out. 4. You can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. 3 more. Exhale. 2. And if you're okay, you're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose like you're trying to fog up a mirror. So that really is a very simple exercise to strengthen the muscles that basically support the lower back. Now I want to talk a little bit more about the breathing. When we're doing the movements here, right? What's the best way to breathe here? Best way to breathe is to breathe in such a way that switches on your inner corset as well. We all do really have an inner corset. It's called your transversus abdominis. So when we breathe here, you heard me say earlier, in through the nose. If you need to, you can breathe out through the mouth. But what I want to encourage you to try to do here is inhale through the nose, poke yourself in your belly, exhale, fog up a mirror. But now do this with your mouth closed. Inhale through the nose, exhale, half mouth closed. So when we're doing the next couple of movements, I'd like you to try to apply that same thing. We generally exhale when we're doing the harder phase of the movement, right? So let's come onto our backs this time round. We're going for a side-to-side movement with the legs, but we're going to anchor our upper body from the waist up. Nothing moves as much as possible. So I'm going to have my arms out to the side here. I pretend that my legs are very short windshield wipers, right? So as I inhale, I'm going to slowly lower my legs out towards the right side, and they're glued together at the inner thighs. Exhale, I come back to the middle. Inhale, I go the other way, and then exhale, I come back to the middle. So it's a spine twist, but what happens here is a lower back stretch at the same time while I'm strengthening the muscles around my torso, right? So let's imagine that I gave you a 10-cent coin and you're holding it between your knees. Let's try not to drop it, all right? Take your arms out to the side, press them down so they're like anchors here, right? Keep your chin tucked in towards your chest. Get ready and inhale towards your right side. Pause there. And then exhale, come back towards the center. Inhale towards the left, pause there. And then exhale towards the center. For those of you who feel a little bit uncomfortable around the lower back because of your hip bones kind of pressing against the back on the floor, exhale, you can put a towel underneath, right? And 3, and exhale, slowly coming back towards the center. and other side, and exhale, coming back towards the center. So with the exercises here that I'm doing with you, I'm doing it for 12 repetitions, right, along with you guys, but that's for one round. Feel free to go for another one extra round or two extra rounds throughout the day as you feel deemed fit, all right, if you're up for it. Inhale towards the left and exhale towards the center. Let's do another 5 more each way, right? Now, if you feel stronger, of course, go down lower. Exhale, come back center. Inhale, other side, and exhale, come back center. Let's do 4 more together. So again, you want to make it easier for yourself, smaller movement, baby movement. You want to make it harder for yourself, your thighs actually come quite close to the ground. But you'll notice that my shoulders are still kind of stuck to the ground here, right? Inhale to lower, and exhale, come back center. Let's just do 1 more here, right? Inhale to the right, and exhale, center. One last one to the left, and exhale, come back center. Hug your knees in towards your chest, and then look to the right, and then look to the left. If you don't have any back pain while rolling, please go ahead and roll to come up to a sit. If not, just lay down on one side, push yourselves to come back up to a sit. Let me give you a little bit more encouragement to do this exercise here. The reason why I like this exercise, as you twist it, lowering your legs down one way and then the other, is how it also helps to lubricate the joints around your mid-back, your low back. So doing a rotational movement like this is not just going to be strengthening the muscles that support the torso. It does help to get the spaces in between the bones to be a little bit more supple, but at the same time, it's also massaging your internal organs. How often do you do twisting movements on a day-to-day basis? For many of us, not so much, right? But it is very necessary. So it does stimulate the soft organs around your torso, right? So great for those of you who have digestive issues. Okay, we're going to be starting down on the ground once again. Little bit of abdominal work here. And having a stronger set of abdominals really does help to support your trunk as well. So a very good idea to do this every day, right? At the same time, many back problems actually stem from tight hamstrings, muscles that run along the back of your thighs, and they actually go all the way to the back of the hips as well, right? So do make sure that you regularly stretch the back of your thighs, your hamstrings. How this movement is going to look like: one leg up in the air, other leg up in the air. Option 1, your legs are bent. You work at a smaller range of motion. Option 2, straight legs. You work with a bigger range of motion. Now you can also, for option 1, keep your head down on the ground to do this exercise. Option 2, you crunch and you bring the leg up here, right? So as I switch, I go inhale and I hold. As I switch, I go exhale and I hold. Let's go another 11 more times together, right? Inhale and pause, and exhale and pause. Adding that crunch here, inhale, further helps me to work on my abdominals. Exhale and switch. Inhale, change. Exhale, change. Roll, try to keep the legs as straight as you can. It's going to give you a deeper stretch to the back of your thighs. So let it happen gradually. 8 more here, right? Inhale on one side, exhale on the other side. 7, and switch. I'm trying to move both legs within the frame of my body. Inhale and exhale. If you need to, please take a rest in between, but do this kind of movement on a regular basis, right? Exhale. Let's do 4 more here together. 4, and change. 3, and if you need to, like I said earlier, lower your head down towards the ground. 2 more times, and out. Just one last one here. Exhale, and then lower your head down towards the ground. Look to one side, look to the other side, relax your neck. It's very normal, it's very common for beginners. Alright, just come into a seated position first. Very common for beginners who start to do crunches to feel a strain around your neck because your abdominals are just not strong enough yet. But remember, to lift your head off the ground, you're supposed to be using your abdominals to try to do that. And tucking your chin in towards your chest helps to facilitate using your abs a lot better as well. Let's come into some stretches here now, right? So make sure you have your rolled up, your opened up mat or your towel to support you, and if you need to have it folded up if it is too thin. Right? If it's too thin, you might find it's a bit painful at certain parts of your body where it's a little bit more bony. Okay, so now when we go into back stretches here, I do want you to make sure that what you feel is a stretch, never a pain. Alright, so there's a difference. If you feel the pull or the discomfort anywhere along the length of your bone, that's probably a really good stretch that you're getting. But if you feel a pain where bone meets bone, chances are it's going to be a sharp pain. You don't go any further, right? So do know that there is a difference, right? So we're going to start out with your first exercise here. The first stretch. A single leg, forward reach. We're going to have your right leg extended out straight. Left leg is bent and it's coming in towards you. Where I need you to feel the stretch is to the back of your thigh on that straight extended leg, right? So toes are pointed up towards the sky. If you need to, option 1, keep that knee bent, right? If your back is rounded, then you just bend your knees. It'll take that strain away from your back as you go for this stretch here. All right, so toes are pointed up. You're going to square your chest towards your thighs, so you're facing your foot. Now take an inhale to extend the arms up and lift the ribs away from your hips before you start to lean forwards and come down. Right? So the closer you bring your chest towards your thigh, the deeper the stretch. If you only manage to come down halfway, that's fine. As long as you feel the stretch, that's just how the movement is going to look like for you. Right? So gaze towards your knee or towards your shin and just breathe normal here. How long should you be breathing here? We're going to stay for about 8 to 10 breaths, right? So let's just hang out here for another 4 more deep breaths. At the same time, if you're able to grab a hold of your ankle or your foot, I want you to pull forward. So you think about elongating your spine at the same time. Instead of compressing, I want you to imagine creating space between the bones that form your spine. Last breath here. Toes pointing up does help me to get a deeper stretch to the back of my lower leg. And then slowly coming back up. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Stretching the left leg forwards, right leg comes in. A second inhale, lift, lengthen, and then exhale, folding it forwards. Alright, so I'm going to hold onto my foot. Again, for those of you who cannot hold your foot, you may need to bend your knees as well, yeah, for option 1. You can also try to hold onto your ankle. Something to pull to help you facilitate elongating the spine further. Right? And then try not to go too hard too soon. Inhale to lengthen, exhale. I'm breathing normal here now because I'm not really working, I'm stretching. So the way I breathe is kind of like how I would if I were just relaxing by the poolside or if I were relaxing by the beach on a holiday. Right? So just focus on letting the breath guide you into inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to melt. Breathing in this way helps me to relax, but it also facilitates a better stretch, right? So like I said, don't try too hard. Sometimes when you try too hard, your body tenses up, and that's not what we're trying to get here, right? I need you to try to encourage the muscles to relax. So we want to switch off the fight and flight response here. Breathe in a relaxed fashion. Just 2 more breaths here will do. 1 more deep breath. And then slowly coming back up. I'm going to have you guys come onto your knees this time. So for those of you who need the extra padding for your knees, please go ahead and fold the center of your mat 1 more time. And as you can see, I now have 3 layers. No longer 1 layer, but 3 layers, so that I can support my knee and take 1 big step forwards. That's if you need it. You can also place a towel, a folded up towel underneath for extra padding if need be. Right, so you just rest 1 knee there and step the other foot forwards. Right, I don't need that. So I'm going to position my knees about hip width distance apart. I'm going to step 1 foot forwards. Right, so step your right leg forwards. Ensure that it is not too close to you, because I need you to be able to shift your hips forwards and down. So guide the foot forwards if you need to. 1 hand down. Hand that's on the same side as the leg that's in front. We're going to guide it forwards for a big step. Now from here, shift your hips forwards and down. So this is your hip flexor stretch that we're going for. Now, avoid doing this. If you can see my back, I am not going to arch or just go soft around the belly region and the low back. This does hurt the back a lot for those of you who already suffer from back pain. So there is a right way and a wrong way to do stretches. I need you to keep your belly wall still engaged, all right? So it's like somebody wants to poke you in your stomach. You're kind of getting ready for it. And then you start to lower your hips forwards and down to the point where you feel the stretch, never the pain, right? So what I like you to also do is to breathe in such a way that helps to support your spine, to support your torso. Now remember, your lungs are really like big balloons that reside in your ribs, right? So as you inhale and they inflate, they really do support your torso. So inhale to support, exhale to kind of melt down, and let's stay there for another 4 more deep breaths. 3, allow the shoulders to relax. There's so many ways that we can actually breathe, right? And you'll be very surprised. The right and the wrong way of breathing can have a very strong effect on your practice or your state of mind. 1 more breath here. And then very slowly, transfer your weight to the leg that's behind. And then if you need to, guide the leg in or just step it in, right? We're going to switch sides here this time. Again, if you need to, guide the foot forwards or have one hand on the ground to support you before you guide the foot forwards. Or you can just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your foot towards the front. Shift your hips forwards and down. Once again, making sure that you are not overly arching your lower back. So keep the lower back lifted. Keep the lower back long, right? And then let your hips kind of gradually sink in the direction of your front foot. So where you feel the stretch right now is to the front of your right hip. And then relax the shoulders, focus on your breathing to help guide you into a deeper stretch. Take another 4 more deep breaths here. For those of you who suffer from lower back pain, this is particularly good for you, right? So I do encourage you to do this stretch on a daily basis, if not a few times a day. Remember how long we're staying? About 8 breaths. Right? Just staying here for 1 more breath will do. And then very slowly transfer the weight back to the rear leg and then guide it in. We're going to come back down towards the ground once again. So the next stretch we're going to do is going to help you feel that stretching effect on the outside of the hip. So I'd like you to have one leg under and the other leg over. Looks like fire locks, right? And that's precisely the name of the stretch, right? So I'm going to have one shin on top of the other, but if this doesn't work for some of you, you're going to have just your foot coming in closer towards you, or just one leg on top of the other on your calf, all right? Otherwise, foot over opposite knee, and you're going to start to lean forwards. Chest comes down towards the legs and extend your arms forwards. Now, the further forwards you can go, the lower you can go, the deeper the stretch. Again, it's to the outside of your hips, right? So this is not just great for people who suffer from back pain, but also sciatica, right? So lower the hips, lower the chest closer towards the legs. Again, we're going to stay there for 8 breaths. I'm not going to stay there for too long this time, but you guys can do that so that I have an opportunity, because I'm running a little bit, running short of time. So I'm going to guide you through onto the other side. Again, you can repeat this on your own later on. 8 breaths. Slowly coming back up. Let's switch legs this time. One foot on top of the other. Flex that foot. Take an inhale. Try not to round the back, right? The hip doesn't just fall down. It is your chest coming in the direction of your shins. Your chest coming in the direction of your lower legs. Holding it there for just 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. And then very slowly coming back up. One last stretch here for you guys. All right, I'm going to have my bum right in the center of the mat. I'm going to lower myself down, stretching one leg out towards the front. I'm going to bring the other leg in. I'm going to hold onto my foot with one hand and my knee with the other, and I bring it in towards me this way. I feel the stretch to the outside of my right hip at this point. Option 2, you bring your foot towards your elbow. You bring your knee towards your other elbow, hug it in, and lower down. The stretch gets deeper this way. And then you just do the same thing on the other side for 8 breaths as well. Option 1, hand to foot, knee to hand. And then elbows holding onto foot and knee to go for a deeper stretch. Also, 8 breaths on each side. Alright, so All these stretches can be done on a daily basis. You can actually stay for longer than 8 breaths if you'd like to as well. In fact, the longer you can stay, the better. Try for 5 minutes. You might have difficulty coming out of the pose later, but have fun trying it out. Remember, at no point in time should we be feeling pain, and if you do it regularly, that back pain does go away fairly quickly as well. I'd like to thank you all for joining us, myself, Samuel, and Cheryl, on Rise and Shine this morning, and stay tuned for the afternoon program coming up with our friend Natalie Dow as well. Now at 10 o'clock, we have Barbara and Kelly who are going to be speaking with you and sharing a lot of updates about how you can also stay active, and they have guests coming on with them as well. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, watch for some celebrity chefs sharing healthy recipes with you guys as well. So stay tuned, and I do hope to see you all again very soon. Get active, everybody. Thank you.